Hey y'all, welcome to the Blueberry Farm. Hey, in today's video I'm just going to give you a little short tour and show you the things that we got going on, some of the work we got to do. Also, I'm going to show you how the freeze affected our crop this year, and might be surprising. First thing I want to show you though is that I started some cuttings, some hardwood cuttings back in December, and if you know, we had extreme cold weather, lots of ice. We had 10 days below freezing. I think 1 degree was the lowest that it got here, and I had these cuttings in these pots and I just didn't know how they were going to turn out. So anyway, I want to show you how those are looking right now. As you can see, they're putting on leaves. I'm not sure if you can see those inside this thing, this tote. I've got some in this tote here. They're all still pretty green. Some of them don't have leaves, some of them do. I didn't put any rooting hormone on any of them. So, you know, just get what you get. And I'm just surprised that they got anything at all. Some of them really did well. That's really simple to do. And I'll probably make a little tutorial maybe this year on how we did that. Also, I stuck some blackberries. I took some blackberries there and stuck them in there. It looks like they're putting on leaves too, so they're going to try to root. And I did this is oleander. They didn't work out that well. I did that. I was pruning them in December and thought, well, I'll try to see if they work. They don't. So anyway, it didn't cost me anything to try that. So I give these a little drink. I'll water them about once every few days, maybe. Anyway, we're gonna head out to the field, check out and see what the plants look like. Hey, what are you doing? You're in the way. Get up. You're lazy. Man, if I could grow blueberries like I can weeds and grass, wouldn't have to work no more. All right, I'm up at my first variety that I wanted to show you here, and it's very disappointing. These are rabbit eye varieties, and they weren't even near budding out at all when we had that hard freeze. And it showed me just how, it showed me which varieties are less cold tolerant, if that makes any sense. I mean, we never hardly ever get 0 degrees or 1 degree. We very seldom get into teens, so we normally don't have this problem. But this year we did. And this is gonna be our worst season that we've ever had. So look at this plant right here. Normally this plant would be full of blooms and already have berries on it. And as you can see, it's mostly leaves. There's a couple buds left right in here. Most of them though, when you touch them, they just break and come apart and they're just crumble. So they're not even, like this one right here, you can see it just falls off. There's nothing, it's just dried up. And they weren't even beginning to form. I mean, this was, you know, this freeze happened in January. Look at that, they just fall off. They're not even any good. And they weren't even beginning to open. So it's, you know, it's just one of those things that happens, I guess. You'll see a buds here and there, but none of these are any good. They dried up and there's nothing but leaves. So we roughly right here, you know, there's a lot of bushes don't have any berries at all. And that's a later variety too, so it's kind of confusing. Now I have some that are a little earlier that were further along than those were, that actually have a lot of berries on them. It's the craziest thing. If you look right here at these, these have a lot of fruit. Yeah, look in here, there's still blooms. There's still berries. There's a lot of berries on there. The berries they're sizing up good. I mean, look at them compared to my hand. Some of them are really nice. Oh, this right here is something you always enjoy finding too. This is where coyotes get out here and they're bored, I guess, and they just eat the lining too. That's always fun, especially in July and August. You come out here and the water's just going everywhere instead of on the plants. Here's another earlier one too, and all those buds that you see just fall to pieces. They're just crumbly. No good. Bunch of dead buds and a lot of leaves. A little farther down the line here, down the hill, they're later, and it got them too. There's going to be a little bit, but you know, depending on how many bugs and birds eat these, pretty slim picking. Now these have a few on them, but these had frost the other day, so you can tell that they're turning brown. We had some freezing temperatures actually a couple days ago, so it froze the blooms. They won't make anything. These are climax. Now these are Alapaha. These usually yield more than any other plant that I have, and there's just very few blooms at the tops. Some of them have a little more than others, but most of them, if you look down in the bush, there's nothing but leaves. So it froze all the buds on them as well, and they usually produce more than any other plant that I have. And let's see, now we're getting to Brightwells. Brightwells is an excellent one also. They have a few, but there's not very many. There's a couple. Some of them are going to make it, some of them aren't. Now we'll go to our latest variety we have, which normally gets ready at the end of June, starting into the 1st of July. The last one to bud. And you would think, man, those ought to be loaded with berries, because they don't even start really blooming good till right now. Well, here we are. Just leaves. There's a bud here and there that might open up, but I'm not too. Here's a berry. There's a couple blooms right there. So anyway, that's an update on how the fruit looks on the plants. Plants look great. There's just not anything on them. So, and there's nothing we could have done. It got too cold. Overhead frost protection wouldn't have worked. Windmills wouldn't have worked. There's nothing that we could have done to save them. It was just too cold for too long, and that's part of blueberry farming, I guess.